My Christmas cookie platter always has rainbow cookies on them. We actually call them tre colori, which means 3 colors in Italian. Let me show you how I do it. Into a stand mixer, I add sugar and almond paste that I've put in a food processor to break up all those lumps. Then I add in my room temperature butter and cream those together until they're light and fluffy. Add in the egg yolks and mix until it's well combined. Here I have my egg whites that I'm just going to whisk a little bit until they get foamy. This is a pretty dense cookie, so you don't want a lot of air in there. Add those into the mix and combine well. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients. I have a little bit of salt. Add in the flour a little at a time and make sure it's incorporated with each addition. Once the dough comes together, I'm going to separate it and dye it red, green, and leave one alone. Spread it out onto a parchment-lined baking sheet. Bake for 12 minutes. Do not overbake it because they will dry out. Now it's time to build the cookie. There's some debate about what jam you should be using, but we're an apricot family. You could use raspberry. It's up to preference. Spread a thin layer out and then dump the next layer on top. Obviously you want to do green, white, and then red. Spread some more apricot preserve on that layer and then finish with the red layer. You want to press that down so it all sticks together and set that aside while you melt the chocolate. Here I have 4 ounces of chocolate with a teaspoon of coconut oil, and I'm going to melt that in the microwave. Now it's time to add the chocolate to one side. Make sure it's a thin layer of chocolate because if it's too thick, when you go to cut it, it'll start to crack and that's really frustrating. Once you've spread it out, you can add a little design with a serrated knife and then place it into the refrigerator for 20 minutes to harden. After 20 minutes, you're going to use a cookie sheet to help you flip it over. Place parchment paper down, cookie sheet, and then just flip the cookies over so that you can coat them in chocolate on both sides. Some people skip this step, but I don't because it's a rainbow cookie, chocolate on both sides. That's that. End of story. Spread the chocolate out, thin layered like I said before, and then we're going to do the same thing, do the little design, and place it into the refrigerator to harden. You can totally skip the design part because that does not change the flavor. Now a few tips when you're cutting. This tends to crack, so the key to doing this is to score the chocolate where you're going to make your cuts with a sharp knife. Laying a thin layer of chocolate and scoring the chocolate first before you cut really does prevent cracking. The second tip I have for you is not to use the entire knife when you're cutting the cookie. Using a sharp knife, you're going to use just the tip of the knife into the cookie and cut your layers. And as you can see, there's no cracking. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and follow for more of my holiday recipes. These are a labor of love, but they're so worth it. And they are a beautiful addition to your Christmas cookie platter. Buon Natale and see you on the next video.